I've got some more questions to answer. Here we go. Hi, I'm Mike. This video is where you ask me stuff. That's why you're looking at a massive writing saying Ask Mike. This is my second video in my series of answering your questions. Thank you for submitting them on the previous episode. If you have a question for me to answer in the next Ask Mike video, add it to the video comments below. Here we go, let's answer some questions. You should bear in mind, if you don't like me mispronouncing Mitsubishi as Mitsubushi, or the way I change the way I say Acura constantly, then these YouTube usernames are going to grate on you a little. Sorry for any mispronunciations, especially on the first question. So I got a question in the last video from CockNana2 asking, when did you start playing Top Drives? The depressing answer is, I start about 8:30 in the morning and finish around 2 AM that evening, every day. But I guess the question really meant, what date did you start playing? That's the end of August 2021. Actually, it was Friday, 27th of August 2021, to be exact. I know that because I haven't missed a day logging on to the daily reward calendar. Also, there's a website you can ask to count backwards from 872. So yes, I've been actively playing every day for the last 872 days. I know there's a lot of people who have played much longer, but that's still a lot of time invested into a mobile phone game. It is for me anyway. Let me know in the comments below how many days you've been playing this game. My first epic I upgraded was the campaign Subaru Impreza. I quickly realised that everyone hated it and no one had upgraded it much. So I put a few fuses in it and it got me through a good load of wins in those first days when I was under RQ500. Back in August 2021, the challenge at the time was Summer Games, and then a week later, the Japan Pro Tour Update 14 was released. The first carbon fibre pack I opened for real gold was the JPT Elite 5x carbon fibre, where I pulled 2 Infiniti Emerge E Epics. I fused one away, but the other has been very useful. Obviously I went on to get other campaign cars, but the Subaru and the Infiniti were both very strong cars for me in those early days. A question from David Amori. What's the first legendary you found in a pack? My first legend was the campaign McLaren, like most people. I put a fuse in it very quickly for the same reason I upgraded the campaign Subaru. Looking through all my legendaries, I've worked out that the first legendary I pulled from a pack was actually my Lancia Delta off-roader. It's been a crazy useful car over the years. I've had it for 834 days and raced it 3,130 times, winning most of those races. My first prize car legendary was this Alfa Romeo. At the time it was a great accomplishment, but looking back on it, it's been a pretty pointless car to own. Only 393 races in twice as many days. Burtman asked 2 similar questions. I've separated them out because they have different answers. The first question was, what's your least favourite legendary prize or non-prize car? It's probably no surprise that the legendary Audi at RQ80 is top of that list. I've used it a few times through necessity, but it's truly a rubbish legendary. The stats are terrible and it's an uninspiring car for a legendary car. I should also throw the Alfa in the mix too. It's just rubbish for a prize car and certainly doesn't make me want to use it. The second half of the question from Burman was, what is your least used legendary prize or non-prize car? I had to go searching through my garage to work this one out, but what I discovered was this Ginetta prize car. It's high RQ with good stats, but for some reason I've only used it once. One race, I can't remember what that race was, but I'm guessing it was about 3 minutes after I won it. Since then, nothing, not used. There are just better British cars in my garage, and this Ginetta never seems to be included in a tag challenge or key in any event criteria. DRS5099 asked, what is your opinion on Hutch making it so that you can't use duplicates on certain events? I have mentioned this a few times in my videos because I think it is utter rubbish. I guess they think it helps the smaller garage players, but in fact I think it penalises them. If you have a couple of great duplicate cars for an event, but the rest of your hand is just average, then you could still do really well. But if you're not able to use those cars because they're duplicates, you're not getting the rewards you deserve. Pulling the right cars for an event from a pack is really hard work. It often costs you a lot of gold. If you choose to open packs to be competitive and all the packs give you are duplicates, then you should be offered your gold back. If you're not allowed to use duplicates, the pack shouldn't give them out. It's not right. As a rule, it doesn't add anything to the game, it just takes away from it. I hope Hutch realise it's a poor decision and remove the restriction before it becomes commonplace on all events. I've always kept a lot of duplicates because they're very useful. More on that in the next question. That question is from Mike Burgess. What duplicates do you have in your garage and why? As I've just said, I do keep a lot of duplicates. Generally, if a car is good at a specific thing or is unique in its area, then I'll keep 2 or maybe even 3. If I have upgraded a car unusually, then I'll keep a backup second stock version. You know what I mean, when a challenge makes you tune an ultra rare 332 to win a round, but really it should have been a 233 car. Ever since I started playing, I've seen the value in cars with off-road tyres. I generally keep 3 of each off-roader if I can pull 3 of them. 2 of them will be 323 tuned, and the third will be 332 drag spec for those hill climbs and dirt drags. If there is a car that I use a lot, then I'll keep and max a duplicate, often with a different tune to make it more useful. When there's a challenge series on, I'll keep 2 of each car that I pull from the tag, whether I think the car is important or not. In the past there have been challenges where a key car is needed in a non-standard upgrade, like a super rare which everyone has at 323 is the only car to win a drag, but it needs to be 332. In those cases, having a backup of every car in the tag will get me past the round with a little bit of upgrading. Obviously once the challenge series is finished, I'll unlock those duplicates, if they aren't useful enough to keep long term. Duplicates are really important in the game. If you have slots available in your garage, you should see what cars you are using the most in events and potentially keep duplicates of those cars. Thank you to everyone who asked a question. If you have a question for me, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as possible in the next month's Ask Mike video. Thanks for watching. Question time is over.